Welcome to another episode of the Inspiring Entrepreneur podcast, in which we try to learn from successful entrepreneurs. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Prachi Patwardhan Joshi, who, after embracing motherhood, got into a business and she scaled her business. And today, we are going to learn from her very interesting and a successful journey. Prachi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Piyush. Thanks a lot.
So let's start from the start. Tell us about your academic education, and I think you've also a certified trainer, right? So please tell us about that.
So I have done my schooling from a very humble school in Malad called Utkarsh Mandir. After that, I went on to complete my graduation. I did my Bachelor of Management Studies. I graduated in 2003. So that is exactly 20 years from today. After that, I completed my MBA, that is Masters in Human Resources. And like you mentioned, that I am a certified trainer in soft skills. That is what I have done on the academic front.
And I also came to know there's a very interesting incident that happened in your campus interview. So could you tell us?
Right. So while I was doing my MBA, there was a company called Adlabs Films, right, that came into our campus, and they wanted to hire trainees. They wanted to hire interns. Okay. And that time my then boss, Mr. Ivan Menezes, who was the corporate head of HR for Adlabs. Ivan, if you're watching this, then this is for you. I don't know if you remember this, but he had asked me during that interview that, okay, what do you expect as a stipend? And he also asked me a very legendary question called, where do you see yourself 5 years down the line? And that time I really didn't know what was the right answer. So I gave the honest one. And I said, okay, 5 years down the line, I really don't see myself working in your company or any company for that matter. I want to start my own business. And, that's where that interview just went off that way. And I spoke from the heart. And then later he selected me, to my surprise, and he told me that I liked your honesty, I liked that you spoke from the heart, and that is why here you are. So yeah, that was a very funny interview that happened.
Yeah, but I think there's something about movies and movie tickets and popcorn.
Yeah, I had also said that, okay, it's okay if you don't give me a stipend, just let me watch the movies free and let me have the popcorn free. So yeah, that was a very disastrous interview that really gave me a very glorious career.
Yeah, so I think one of the learning is that be honest in your interview.
Absolutely, right. It works.
Yeah, and maybe for entrepreneurs is that look for candidates who are honest in their interviews, because you never know, they can perform extremely well. As Prachi, I think in the 7 years of your career in Adlabs, I think you did a rocking performance.
So Adlabs then went on to hire me, and while I was there, it also got taken over by Reliance. Yeah. It became Reliance Media Works. I was there for about 7.5 to 8 years. I started as an intern, and towards the end of my journey, I was a divisional head of HR. I was handling 4 of their business divisions that included 4,000 people, a very large HR team, multi-city, multi-countries. I got to travel a lot, learn a lot, see a lot. I got to actually see the merger and acquisition, setting up of various divisions, setting up of different countries. So I had to, I could travel to Malaysia, I could travel to Nepal, I could set up HR for those places. So yeah, it was a very high-flying job, I could say. Everything that I could ask for, and it was a very glorious career.
Yeah, wonderful. So what have been your learnings in the 7 years of working for a large corporate, especially in the HR space?
Right. So it wasn't a large corporate when I joined. Right. Okay. It turned into one. Right. So I got to see the best of both the worlds, right? So I got to see how it is when it is very passionately managed by an entrepreneur. Also, I got to see that how an organization behaves when it becomes a corporate, right? So the learning for me actually was that I could go with the flow. I could actually at that time learn from every moment and reinvent every moment. I tried to give my best to everything that came my way, and I never actually, looked at anything like a challenge. Even if I was given something which was difficult, I was happy about it, because that was something that made me challenge myself and do my best. And I think that really helped me. That stint really helped me.
Yeah, and very interesting, Prachi. And then I think you got married, right? So what next?
So what next? What comes after marriage? For all of us, and the women especially, what comes after marriage is the family, the child. And same happened with me. In 2011, I was starting a family, and I was expecting to be a mother. And this is something that is actually considered as a time or a span in a woman's life, especially when she is expected to take a back seat. Something like that happened with me, because I was doing so well and my job was so demanding. I thought that this was definitely not possible with a baby at hand. So I could do either one. I could do a job, or I could do the child. And I decided that, okay, let me now take a break. Let me actually not do anything for 1 year, and let me just focus on the baby. Fortunately or unfortunately, that did not happen. Well, the baby did happen, but the break didn't. Okay. So while I was at home, and my child was my daughter, she is now 11 years old, then she was 11 months. I got a call from a friend of mine, very close friend of mine, Priyanka. And she told me that, hey, now that you are sitting at home, why don't you come and help me set up this HR and do my trainings and all that. So that she was that time working for a very reputed hospitality company. And I said that, okay, anyways, it's not me, or if, sitting at home is not really me. So why not take this up? And I took up that as a project. That was a starting point, I would say. And slowly and steadily, other clients or other people, other acquaintances who knew me, they started calling me and they started telling me that, okay, help us with this project, help us with this training, help us set up our learning and development, help us set up our policies. And I think that is where somewhere it all started.
But I think you also took up a business. You started a business which was into some HR software that massively failed.
Yeah. So yes, everything is not so hunky-dory. There are failures, there are challenges. So when I started, after this project, or while I was doing this project, there were very kind people who supported me all throughout my journey. So there is a very big name in hospitality, Mr. Ranjan Gupta. He actually liked what I was doing on the HRIS front. And he told me, Prachi, why don't you actually develop a HRIS software? What you're doing is really good, and it really deserves that many companies get to use it. So I thought, okay, let me do it, let me really do it. And thanks to Ranjan sir, that I actually developed a HRMS software. I tied up with a IT company, and I developed the entire screen by screen HR software. However, and a few companies even used it, right? However, I realized that was not my core, right? Tech was not my core. And also the HRIS business was very saturated then, and it needed a large paced and a very massive backup, and a setup, which I did not have that time. So I said that, okay, let me think wisely if this is what I would like to continue, or I would like to do something that was related to my core base, which was HR, which was strategic HR, which was functional HR. So then I decided that, okay, the HRIS software needs to go. Let me really focus on my core, which was setting up policies, setting up HR for businesses, learning and development, KRAs, KPIs. Also, then I thought that, okay, I want to do only strategic HR, only and only policies, only OD and nothing else. Again,
OD is organizational
development. Yeah. So again, there was a massive learning here. I had decided that I don't want to do recruitments at all. But sooner or later, and I'm luckily for me that learning happened sooner, I learned that if I wanted to grow, especially in the domain of HR, I couldn't say no to recruitments, because it is easy for any company to function without OD, to function without policies, to function without strategy, but manpower or people is something that no company can function without, and that was a good entry point. So we embraced recruitments as a function. Today what we do is we are an end-to-end full service HR services firm.
Prachi, I'm going a little backward just to understand, and especially for our viewers to understand that how was the family's reaction that when your child was 11 months and you decided to go into entrepreneurship? What was the reaction and how did you take care of it?
So Piyush, a little bit about my family background here. I belong to a nuclear family, and I'm also a product of crossbreed parenting, you can say that. So my mother is a Marwadi and my father was a Koknasta Brahmin. Very, very different kind of a combination. Right. So like Marwadis are known to be business families. Right. My father was a businessman himself. So there was the business gene already, right. And my parents already knew how it was to get into the business, right. And all that. My husband was extremely supportive. He has been extremely supportive of what I'm doing so far. He's very, very proud of what I've how I have turned this around. My in-laws were very supportive. My daughter has literally grown with my business, or my business has literally grown with my daughter. Right. So they both have grown together. And I've been really very blessed to have all these people, some of my very close friends who have been supportive all throughout the journey, throughout the lows and the ups and the highs, so that really, really immensely helps.
Wonderful. I think Prachi, also from the HR software business that you moved out, there's a lot to learn for entrepreneurs. We as entrepreneurs tend to have that shiny object syndrome, that we feel that, okay, let me get into this business, another business, and we tend to invest a lot of time, money, and efforts in doing that.
Right.
And you took a pause at the right time. I think that also contributed a lot in helping you to focus and then grow the business that you were passionate about and the business that the market actually needed.
Correct. So I definitely believe 100% in cutting the losses sooner than later.
Oh, interesting.
So if you have really understood that something is not you, something is not 100% you, your core doesn't lie there, then that is something that I would personally advise people to kind of re-evaluate. And that's what I did when I took a step back from the HRIS business, because I realized that I can do it, but that's not my core. That's not where my passion actually lies.
Right. Also, can you tell us about the kind of clients that you are taking care of and the kind of work you are doing? I think you have more than 200, I think 400 clients, please.
Okay, so our company's name is HRipple Solutions. It's an amalgamation of the word HR and a very beautiful English word, ripples.
Right.
So ripples, if you know, is a very progressive and a very positive phenomena, that you put a very small stone in water and what it creates, the energy, that is the spread of what it creates, is something which are called as ripples. And that is a very positive kind of a phenomena in itself. So HRipple Solutions amalgamates the ripples, HR, people, everything together. What we do today is, like I also mentioned earlier, we are an end-to-end HR services firm. Okay, so I can say that we help our clients in three basic levels. First is small to mid-sized business organizations. They can outsource their end-to-end HR function to us and they can focus on their core business. Secondly, large corporates that have their own HR departments. They can outsource strategic HR business functions to us, like compensation benchmarking surveys or KRAs, KPIs, learning and development, OD, happiness index, or great place to work. Now these are some of the initiatives that are best done by outsiders because we come with zero bias. And the third one being recruitment. So plain vanilla recruitment, like how you and I both understand.
Right.
Companies want people, whether it can be in ones or tens or hundreds. They want people, they give us the requirements, and we help them fulfill those. Okay, so those are the service offerings. We have a couple of offices here now in Mumbai. Most of our team is operational from Mumbai, but I have one person in Pune, two in Bangalore, one in Chennai. We've serviced more than 400 corporate clients so far. Some of them are very, very large public limited companies like PwC, like Patanjali or Chittade Bandhu, Larsen and Toubro. Some of them are, mid-sized firms, and all of them have been extremely special and coveted clients for all of us.
Right. So Prachi, recruitment or HR is a very regular business, and Ripple Solutions in a financial capital of Mumbai, where there's huge competition, there's no entry barrier to somebody starting or setting up an HR business. How you have carved a niche and scaled up the business at this level. So what are the secrets, or what are the strategies that you've used?
All right, there are no secrets per se, but you really very rightly said that recruitment or HR consulting business is, probably you stand on a street and throw a stone, there is a likelihood that it will land up in a recruitment solutions firm. So that is how common this business is. But the market is huge. Okay, the market is huge. Even though there are multiples of service providers, there is a magnum of work available for everybody. There is enough and more for everyone. Okay, so what we actually did was, whatever came our way, whatever it was, whether it was small, large, massive, we tried to serve it in such a manner that that client never walked away from us. Whoever has been working with us from the day one, since the time of our inception, most of our clients are still with us. Okay, we have also had instances when the clients have walked away, but they have come back. Okay, so that is something that I kind of categorically ensured that getting business is easy in this field, especially in recruitments. Getting business is easy. Servicing it, keeping it is something which our team needs to really strive to do.
So I'm sure being in HR, it has impacted, or it has helped a lot in creating a solid winning team. And so how do you do that?
Right. So that has been the secret. You said, what is the secret?
Right.
Okay, now I think I'll give it away. So the secret is actually in building the right team. Okay, in getting people who share your vision, who can share your passion, and you can take it ahead. So once you create those kind of people, once you're able to hire, once you're able to train, once you're able to retain them, I think half the battle is already won, because you cannot be enough. Your bandwidth is going to get over. You will need to create kind of replicas, but better.
Okay, and tell us something which is very interesting about your team, right? Like, you've been a mother turned entrepreneur. I think there are members in your team also who are come from various different challenges and backgrounds.
Right. So, like I mentioned, that after my motherhood, I took a back seat. This is my back seat.
Right.
And trust me, it has been extremely interesting, very challenging than the so-called frontline careers for women.
Right.
So, same like me, we have women, we have men, we have other people from various paths of life in their journey. We've had mothers who had taken a break. We've had people who who are not finding it easy to get the conventional jobs per se, and they are doing exceptionally well. They are really doing exceptionally well. A couple of days back, we were having a candid conversation in the office, and a few members actually told me that, what, Prachi, this is actually the first job where we can tell the real reason for going on leave, or we can tell the real reason of when will we be back, and that, I think, speaks a lot. They said that this is one place where we don't have to lie. I think that's the culture that we have been able to create.
Yes, Prachi. As Jim Collins in his bestseller book called Good to Great has said, that setting up the right culture in an organization is the key role of the founder of a business. So, as you rightly have set up a certain culture in your organization, can you tell us, how did you go about doing that so that it helps entrepreneurs who are listening to this podcast?
Right. This is an amazing question, and I think a personal favorite of mine when it comes to culture, organizational culture. I really believe that setting up of culture, it begins at the time of recruitment. Okay. I also believe that you can and you should hire for attitude and train for skills.
Okay.
That is what we have done so far in Ripple Solutions. Once we get somebody in, once we actually hire you for the attitude, once we actually see that are you as crazy as all of us around, do you fit into our scheme of things, will you be able to work with us, will we be able to work together? And I also believe, Piyush, that hiring somebody or recruiting somebody is a two-way process. It is not just that I am selecting you, it is also that the person is selecting me. If the match is there, if the fitment is there, then your half job is done. So once we hire somebody with this kind of a process, once we have this person in, what we really focus on as a team together is making that person successful. How can you be successful with us? How can we make you successful as a part of our team? And when we are able to do that, I think the culture is set right. Then it is a very, very non-political, it is a very supportive, all colleagues are helping each other grow because they understand that if one person grows, they grow, the team grows, everybody grows together. So I think that has been the success of this culture that we have been able to set up. So let me support it with an example, Piyush. About 4.5 years ago, a lady came to me for an interview who was already in her very late 40s. She came from a very different kind of an industry. She had no previous background or experience into recruitment or HR. And, she was very passionate though. She was extremely passionate. And she was very keen to do something in the field of people, in the field of hiring especially, right? And nobody else was ready to hire her, maybe because of the age, maybe because she had a career break, but she was very passionate, and she said that, Prachi, you know what, this cannot be my last, or this is not how my career should end. I can really add so much value. And I said, let's take a leap of faith. Today, when she joined, she was still learning. There was a very large learning curve. She took up every challenge and we helped her succeed. Today, she is one of our top performers, one of the most brilliant recruiters we have, like a sharpshooter recruiter. And she's also a trainer, and she's also a role model for all the people who enter in new, to be able to learn from her that age is no bar, background is no bar, or anything that you have done before is no bar. Your present is what you can turn your way around.
Yeah. So I think for our entrepreneurs who are listening to this podcast, this should be a very valuable lesson because getting the right kind of people to work with us is a very big challenge, and you've been able to not only solve that challenge, you produced a rock star performer.
Right. And just quickly adding to this, getting the right kind of people most of the times may not be conventionally the right kind of people, right?
Yeah.
You have to really understand, and you have to really have that much EQ to be able to get and gauge what is the best in each one and how can you use it.
Right. Yeah. Wonderful. Sure. So Prachi, as we come towards last 2 or 3 questions in this discussion, your Ripple solution journey has been of 11 years now.
Officially, it has been a journey of 7.5 years.
Right.
My journey as a consultant has been of 11 years.
11 years. So what have been your biggest lessons that you've learned, especially as an entrepreneur in the HR space?
All right. So some of my biggest learnings when I started as an entrepreneur, the first one was that you really get to know how many things have you taken for granted in life. Especially if you come after a corporate job, you have taken a lot of things for granted, right? From the chair that you are sitting in to the ready-made chai that you're getting,
Right, yeah.
to the ready-made clientele that you already have. Once you decide to become an entrepreneur, you really realize that it is just me alone and there is nobody. So that is a very, very big feeling that you should learn to deal with. Once you accept the fact, and once you try and convert that into an opportunity, then I think you have kind of mastered how you can walk your path alone. Now once you learn to walk your path alone, you also have to have vision uh, which is engaging enough for other people to be able to relate to it, and for other people to be able to agree to walk that path with you. And that is when I think you will be able to create a very enriching entrepreneurial journey, I would say.
Wonderful. So, Prachi, this is a typical interview question that is asked, and let me ask you, as a founder of Ripple Solution, where do you see Ripple Solutions, reaching in the next 3 to 5 years?
So this is another legendary question. I think we opened the interview with this question, and we
Right.
would kind of close it with this. So today what we have achieved, Piyush, is that we are doing a lot of work in India. We've recently started doing work with companies across the globe. In the coming years, we would definitely want to expand that horizon for Ripple Solutions. We would like to cross the geographical boundaries. We have already started doing that. We are working for the US and Canada and Africa. So we would like to add other geographies to this. We would also like to replicate the model that we have kind of cracked. So today, if we are a team of say 20 talent consultants, we would want that to become 5 folds. Okay, we would want to make sure that we have enough talent in house, that we are able to fetch much more work from the market that is good enough to feed a team of 100 of my own. So I think that's what I see as a future of Ripple Solutions.
Wonderful. With the expertise that you have in recruitment, I'm sure it's going to be kind of a cakewalk for you. Okay. So, there are a lot of to-be entrepreneurs who are listening to this podcast. There are entrepreneurs who are struggling to scale up their business. Now, what is one message that you have for on these entrepreneurs?
What I would like to say, Piyush, and this is something that I really believe in, okay, is entrepreneurship is a calling. Is a calling that can come to you at any age, that can come to you at any gender. It doesn't really matter whether you're a woman or a man, or whether you're a young woman or an old man. It's a true calling. So what I would really tell you is that if you get it, do not keep any door or any window open as a backup plan, because if you do, you will take up that backup plan and escape. So please get into it wholeheartedly. Be there, and you will definitely succeed.
Right. So thank you very much, and Prachi, wish you all the best for your growth plans to you and to Ripple Solutions. And thank you for sharing all your wisdom and insights with all of us. With that, we come to the end of this interview. In case you want to get in touch with Prachi Patwardhan Joshi, the links are mentioned in the description below. And thank you for listening to this episode. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Inspiring Entrepreneur Show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Piyush, for having me here. This has been a very, very interesting experience, and all the best to you for your future journey as well.
Yeah, thank you, Prachi.